Hey, everybody, welcome to the second episode of Shoot with Chris, featuring me, your host, Chris McLean Mestis. And on today's episode, we got a very special guest, a gentleman who is a really good friend of mine, junior welterweight top contender, and the people's champion, Adrian El Tigre Granados. So strap yourselves in. Let's get ready for a great show with some great conversation. Also, keep in mind, be active in the comment section. You got a question, a comment, we'll definitely get it on the air, get it answered. Don't be afraid to chime in. So, with that being said, let's get today's show on the road.
Somebody told me sleep is the cousin of death. I gotta wake up. So I open my eyes with a dream in the book. I gotta chase him. Struggle makes 100 miles and running feel more like a million. More pressure. I ain't never backing down and letting up. Fuck you then.
Hey, welcome back again, everybody. Like I said on today's episode, we have Adrian El Tigre Granados. So let's go ahead and get into some news while we wait for Adrian to get on the line. First order of business is we finally heard again from Deontay Wilder stating that he does not see Tyson Fury as the champion, that he needs to beat him in order to be a champion, and he eyes a third fight. Definitely got some thoughts on that. I don't know what Deontay is talking about. Tyson is definitely the champion. I believe it's 2-0. I still truly believe that Tyson Fury won that first fight on the scorecards, obviously. When he rose up like The Undertaker from the ashes in the 12th round, I felt that that sealed the deal for him. So, actually, we do have Adrian on the line now, so let's go ahead and bring him in and get this going. Adrian El Tigre Granados. How's it going, brother?
What up, Dougie? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm great. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just chilling, Good to be home right now. Good to be with the family. Good to be, in my hometown. And yeah, man, quarantined in.
Yeah, I can tell. I don't think I've seen the hair that long in quite some time.
Yeah, man. I've let it. I'm just letting it grow. I don't know. I'm trying something new.
What are you planning on doing with it, letting it grow?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe go samurai. Try to get the man bun going.
Oh, the man bun, huh?
Yeah.
I don't think you're a millennial. I think might want to stay away from that one.
I think we'll call it like the Aztec warrior type.
Oh, okay. So you're looking at it from a really old school perspective, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
So what have you been up to since you've been back home in Chicago?
Well, when I first got back, I did make it over to Garfield Park. Pretty much got our old team back together, and yeah, just we were getting back at it. But as soon as I got here, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks in, and right after that, like right away straight to this coronavirus stuff.
Awesome, but everybody in the family is doing okay as far as this coronavirus is concerned, right?
Yeah, everybody's good. I mean, just pretty much just a change of things, and I mean, luckily, we've been able to, stay clear of any sicknesses, and luckily my family, they're still working, and everybody's just staying busy.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that. So what exactly are you doing? It looks like you're just on the gaming system, if I'm not mistaken. Is that taking up most of your time being back home?
Pretty much. I mean, I'm not really. I don't know. I went for a run today. Just trying to stay busy, and it's kind of hard staying true to the game. When you're allowed all this free time to just kind of eat and slack off, and just pretty much got to stay true to the game and true to yourself, and just try to stay in shape.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm sure it's hard. You're not the only one that's having to deal with that. So just keep it up. So let's just get into a couple questions right away. We'll get a lot of the boxing stuff out of the way. Just for the people who don't really know who you are, did you choose boxing, or do you feel boxing chose you?
Mixture of both. I mean, I've always been a huge fan of boxing. I followed, Julio Cesar Chavez growing up. He pretty much made me want to box. And yeah, I don't know. I just, I was a multi-sport athlete. I went to St. Joseph High School. Shout out to the Charger, my Charger Nation. What's it called? Yeah, just I went there to play ball. That's the school where Isaiah Thomas went. And what's it called? I went there and I was playing basketball, baseball, and football. And it was like sophomore year that pretty much they told me, they're like, there's this Christian brother. He works out, he trains people for boxing. And I was just like, all right, I want to give it a go. It'd be good to get me in shape for basketball. And after like a month of training, pretty much they let me know like, oh, yo, you're a natural. Like I think you're gonna have to do this for real. So I went to the state tournament, and my first tournament, man, won the state title. And I was like, after that, like it was 15 years later, we're here now.
Wow. So did you continue to play basketball, or did you just commit to boxing?
I committed to boxing straight up just because basketball, like it was it was during the season that basketball was going on that the Golden Gloves were going on in Chicago. So pretty much it was like I had a choice to make. And since I found like immediate success with boxing, I chose to go that route. I think I made the right decision. I mean, I was there in school with, freaking Evan Turner, Demetri McCamey, all American, college and now professional athletes. And I mean, it just kind of, I think it was the right choice.
Awesome, awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
knowing from personal experience, though, I definitely know you can hoop a little bit. So, you
Thank you.
feel
Thank you.
you feel if you could have actually stayed playing basketball, then that you'd have at least did well and succeeded in at least at the high school level.
Definitely. I was told that if I would have continued, that definitely by like senior year, I would have been starting. What is it? Either that though, I had already worked my self up to being like one of the main guys in the rotation. I was a six man off the bench.
Awesome. And so, another question. To this day, out of all the fights you've had, I see you've had 31 professional bouts, and you're only 30 years old. You're still a baby.
Uh
Okay.
huh.
What is to this day? What's the most favorite fight that you've been a part of?
Oof, there's a bunch. I would say the Sean Porter fight. The
Why
Sean
is that?
Porter fight. It was just a war, man. It was a war. It kind of like it was just one of those fights where I had to throw caution to the wind and just freaking just just go. I mean, he actually surprised me because my plan was to come out to outbox him. I had the height, I had the reach on him, so our plan going into that fight was to outbox him, and he actually outboxed me. He surprised me with his boxing technique and pretty much like he got a little dirty in there in the fight, and pretty much like once I decided to get dirty with him, that's kind of when I broke him, and I wish I would have done it earlier because I mean everyone knows that I had him running for on his bicycle, the last few rounds, and nobody ever had done that to Sean Porter at the time, and I just I wish I could have stepped on the gas a little earlier so I could have came out with the victory.
Do you regret taking the fights that you did at 140 pounds, or I mean, sorry, at 147 pounds? Because we all know you're a natural 140 pounder. You and I have had numerous conversations about that, as well as your father, and amongst other people. You're a natural 140 pounder. Do you kind of regret having to take those fights and wish you just could have just basically continued at 140, or was it a good experience for you?
I mean, I think I think I think they weren't bad fights. I think I was in every one of them, and I think I think had maybe judges seen it a different way, it would have gone the other way. But I mean, I'm not really regretful. I mean, I like the way my career has gone out as far as I got respect from the whole game, and I'm just fortunate that I've been able to share the ring with a lot of big names.
Speaking of the judges, seems like they're not a big fan of you. You've been in a lot of close fights, split decisions, and whatnot. Which one stings the most? What one stands out above the rest? 'Cause I definitely know there's one. It has to be. Which one stands out to you?
um, I guess the one that I usually always get, the Adrian Broner fight. The Adrian Broner fight. I mean, it's a fight that I've seen enough where I can clearly say I won that fight 7-3, at the closest 6-4. Um, I mean, I know I was fighting in his backyard, but the one judge that was from Ohio actually gave it to me. So it's just it was a rough one. I mean, I feel like just with any fight though, I have to knock them out, and that's unfortunate. But I mean, that's just the way that it's drawn up for me.
you feel that you've taken the necessary steps in order to try to take the judges out of the fights at this point? Is that something that you're still continuing to work on?
No, I mean, it is what it is. I gotta knock them out. And the thing, like what I tell people, it's unfortunate, but what's it called? It's unfortunate that what's it called? That I have to do that because when you're fighting the best fighters in the sport, it's that's not gonna always happen.
Of course, and I agree. Like I said, I've seen enough of your career, which has definitely been a lot to know that you not only fight the referee as well as the fighter that's in front of you, but as well as the three judges. And you feel that you're going to catch that break at some point? You're going to get over that hump?
I'm praying that I do. I mean, really, it's on me. Like this first or this last camp, I really focused in on power and really trying to get stronger. And moving forward, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually I'm gonna be working with a physical trainer, a personal trainer, and pretty much just get my core strength up and really just try to get knockout power because I know that's what I got to do, and I know that's what I'm not known for, and I know I've realized that that's what I got to do. Like there's really no other outcome.
So, being that it's been a few years, and I know this is definitely going to ring home a little bit. When I say Ed Brown to you today, what comes to mind? What's the first thing that pops up to you?
Flyboy Ed, Flyboy. Man, he was the coolest, man. He was the coolest. That guy, he had a smile that light anybody up. It was every time we seen each other, we're just like kids. Anytime you see me, it's just like he had that goofy smile, like just that's my guy Ed, man. That's my little bro.
Awesome, man. I can actually recall the first time that I met Ed Brown. Um, I had actually cornered a gentleman that you fought, Christian Steele. I took him
Okay.
out to Arizona to fight Ed. No clue who Ed was. I knew who I'd never met George. That was the first time I had met George from all the stuff you had told me about him being your trainer and whatnot. But I took him out there to fight Ed. It was crazy because before the fight, I mean, just the look on his face looked like I don't like this kid. And then obviously I was there against him, so that was really, that was my thought process. But as soon as the fight was over, I didn't expect him to be as humble as he was, to be as gracious as he was, and to just be as cool as he was. So Ed and his team, as well as Christian and myself, we stayed in a separate hotel because the original hotel for the fighters was sold out. So we had been around each other all week, but didn't really get much from him. But then after the fight, when the fight was over, he came up to us, showed just nothing but love, nothing but respect. And then him and I got to talking, you being a mutual friend, and then we just hit it off from there, man. And literally ever since that day, we had always stayed in contact. And then obviously you guys just seeing him around you and whatnot. So yeah, he like you said, he definitely had a smile to light up the room, and regardless of what had happened, I mean, definitely sure he left his mark on not more or less the boxing world, which he was getting ready to do so, but Chicago and Garfield Park and your guys' team in general. So definitely shout out to Ed Brown. Will never be forgotten. I'm sure you and and the rest of the broke team, as you guys used to call yourselves, a couple of them really ain't broke. Actually, you guys ain't broke anymore. I would definitely wouldn't say you guys are broke anymore.
We got some change now. We got some change.
She said you got the old band back together. So that I would mean obviously Nate and Josh are back at the gym. Clearly, I know that. How's that going? How's that being having everybody back together?
I mean, yeah, no, it was cool. It was cool. I mean, everybody, we just kind of all, went our different outlets, and I mean, I think everybody knows, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, so everyone pretty much we just got back together, and that's I mean the coach George, that's our guru, that's our sensei, and I mean he knows how to crack the whip with us, and that's what we need.
Let's get into some comments here. We got quite a few comments coming in. Dave Z, I believe that's your cousin David, says he trashed at hooping.
Oh wow, who is that? My
Dave,
cousin
David, yes.
Yeah, of course.
Said you were
He's
you
gonna
were a
spit.
better shortstop. Is that true? You play baseball too?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I play baseball. Well, yeah, that's what definitely my cousin's gonna say that because yeah, baseball was always my thing. I played baseball for 10 years. I still miss baseball. I feel like that probably could have been that could have been my ticket too. If it wasn't for boxing.
We also have Emmanuel Taylor. Emmanuel, hey, what's up, Mr. Taylor? Sean Porter's fight scorecards were way off.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, shoot, I mean that's pretty much when they started. Like, I mean, I feel like this last fight was the worst with Robert Easter, but with Sean Porter, I think it was like they 8-2, 7-3, and then I don't know. It was one sided too.
TV Nasty Kid 23 says hi. And actually, the gentleman we were just talking about, Christian Steele. Rest in peace, Ed Brown. Cool dude.
Okay.
What's up, Christian?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Christian, a great guy. The him and I had became good friends too, and then he ended up taking a fight with you. I didn't like it. I didn't want to. I don't even think I watched the fight already, or at that time when it
Yeah,
happened. Wasn't a
yeah, he
big
fought
fan of
everybody.
it like that. Yeah, well, he did. He did. Like I said, that's how I actually met Christian. He came out to fight a kid that I was working with, Manny Lopez, at the time, and Christian came out and just gave him a hell of a fight, and he needed some. He came out by himself actually to that fight. No coach, no nothing, And then I was able to help him out, get him some fights, put the money in his pocket. That's actually how, again, like I said, how I met Ed. Nate Rogers. Nate, let's discuss the future. What are some possible fights coming up for you?
One that we were working on right before this coronavirus mess happened was I was actually gunning for a fight with Devon Alexander
At 140 or 147?
Probably 147. 147. But I mean, I like the fight. I like the fight. It's a big name, and it's somebody that I love to get in there with.
Okay, let's get back to these questions. Got a couple more. Emmanuel said, "Bro, how was my sparring for the Easter fight? You did spar with Emmanuel Taylor for that. How was that sparring?"
Yeah, really good, really good. I mean, well, we fought in the amateurs. He beat me in the amateurs, at the nationals, and what's it called? No, he's a good fighter. He really impressed me with he would switch up, like he could switch it up, like he could box, he could bang, and he just had like a timing that was different. When he would he'd kick it into different gears, and that was it was great work, real great work. He came to fight every day. He was tough every day, and definitely an awesome dude too. It was the first time we actually really got to chill, talk and like get to know each other. And yeah, man, mad cool dude. Shout out to Emmanuel Taylor.
Yeah, Emmanuel Taylor. From everything I see on your social media, you need to get a haircut, bro.
Oh
yeah. He's been really active on his social media, talking about like, I need a haircut. I'm going crazy, yada yada yada. Have you got one yet, Emmanuel? let us know, because if you haven't, it don't look like Adrian has either. So y'all definitely got something in common right there. So I mean, switching gears here. You've kind of always been known as a ladies' man since I met you. How's the love life going? What's the relationship status? I'm sure there's plenty of women out there that definitely want to know.
I got a girl. It's my girl. I've been with her now for 2 years. I'm living out there in Culiacan with her, and yeah, man. I mean, she's a good girl. I really, I really have come to appreciate like how much she loves me. I've never felt this much love from a person. She just really is nuts about me, and it's good to feel that. And I mean, we're in a good place, and I'm in a good place with her, and yeah, man.
Well, that's
ain't really much, much more I can say about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's good to
What's
hear.
up?
That's good to hear. I mean, just as you said, it's good to feel love like that. It's good to have that connection with somebody that's different because that person makes you feel different than any other person in the world. And it can make you feel. You
Exactly.
know, they could definitely be the highlight, or they could be the worst thing you've ever dealt with in the same day. And then back to the highlight. You know what I mean? So it's nothing.
Right.
It's nothing wrong with letting that go. It's nothing wrong with admitting that. You know, as long as you feel right in your heart and your head, then shoot, keep shooting. You know. Emmanuel time back in and said he got one finally. He's just growing the beard out. What are you? He's just growing the beard out now.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. I see. No, he wouldn't stop doing selfies about his haircut.
You
He had them waves were wavy though. He had the motion waves going.
he has some waves. Okay.
Yeah.
You are you ever gonna sprout any facial hair? Is it ever gonna happen?
I don't really grow. I mean, it's starting to grow a little bit. Like I actually have to shave like every couple days now. Before it used to
What?
be, yeah. Before it was like once or twice a week, once every 2 weeks, and now it's actually like I do got to shave like every week.
So you're finally getting your pizzas at 30.
Exactly. I'm finally.
You what are your thoughts on mixed martial arts, man? We haven't really talked about it. I like to think I'm very well versed in both now. I've spent a lot of time with in an MMA gym. Definitely a lot of mixed martial arts friends and stuff like that. Now, do you watch it? If you so, like, what are your thoughts? Who's your favorite fighter? You know, let's break down mixed martial arts a little bit.
I'm not really a big like follower of it, but I'm definitely a fan of it. It's a very entertaining. You know, it's to me it's a sanctioned street fight. You know, and that's cool. You know, I like it. I dig it. I don't really know the names too well, but I'm a fan of who is that? Joanna. She's a smaller girl.
Yeah, she just actually fought for the world title not long ago. She's the
That
one that
was a
had that
great fight too.
massive team.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was a
it was.
crazy ass fight. I'm a fan of Masvidal, Jorge Masvidal. Of course, more from his days back when he was fighting with Kimbo and them. Like that's where that's where I became a fan. But Conor McGregor, you know, he's great for the sport. You know, he's their Mayweather. You know, and he's entertaining to watch. But yeah, no, it's a great sport, and like I said, I think we need each other. Boxing and MMA, I think they need each other. You know, just so they can keep competing, and not only that, it's like you can pick your poison on which one you want to see, or which one you want to like, or which one you want to go against. You know, and it's good for the sport. It's good for entertainment.
Is it something you would ever dabble in?
I've thought about it, but I don't think so. I don't like. I got like the weakest shins ever. I can't imagine taking a shin shot, and and I don't know. My wrestling game's probably not that good either.
Oh, well, that's definitely. I mean, you're still young. It's definitely something that could be worked on. And I know Chicago. They've actually got a lot of really good mixed martial arts fighters out right now. A mutual friend of ours, Chepe.
Oh yeah, Chepe.
Yeah.
Shorty Torres too. Those are my two Cicero boys.
Yeah, and I was actually at Chepe's last fight in New Mexico. God, that dude's a warrior. He could take a shot, and
he'll
he could
bang.
just keep going. Yes, it was super entertaining. You know, and I talk to Chepe every now and again. We used to see him at Justin Gaethje's house. He's just hanging out, being a creep with his poofy hair.
Yeah.
Way worse than yours.
Well, yeah, Chip is actually one of the ones who's inspired it.
Oh man, me and that guy gotta have a talk. We gotta get that off y'all's heads.
I'm not gonna do the crazy size though like him.
You're just gonna go for like a big mohawk.
No, I'm just gonna let it grow. Just see what happens.
All right.
My looking super illegal.
Christian's back on. Says you coming out to the States for your next camp?
Yeah, definitely. I plan on coming back here to Chicago. My last few camps were in LA. They went well. But I mean, ain't nothing like home. And I mean, we got some dogs here. So I mean, definitely want to get back here.
Okay. And he also asked, would you ever do the bare knuckle fighting?
Maybe. It's pretty
Depends on
crazy though.
depends on the check, right?
Exactly. How much would you pay me?
And growing up where you grew up, I'm sure you may have had one or two bare knuckle fights on the illegal side,
Most
that we
definitely.
that we may
Most
not want to
definitely.
get involved in. So you're definitely not a stranger to it, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
So how's or actually when are you looking to go back to Mexico?
Um, Probably like in 2 weeks.
Are you going to be able to get through with this pandemic still going on?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, it's just probably gonna be a hassle to come back. But I mean, I'm gonna just wait. I mean, there's not really much going on for me here right now. There's I had come here to actually get in the real estate market, but now that's frozen. I mean, I can't even see anything right now, and gyms are closed. So I figured, I'll go out there be with my girl, and I also I miss my pets, my cats and my dog, and yeah, man, I just want to be out there.
Cats. How many cats do you got in that house?
6 cats.
Six
Now,
cats.
and we just moved back to her old place, so it's gonna be 7 because her old cat like never left there. So yeah, now we're gonna be with 7 cats and a dog.
You never struck me as a cat person. How is it living with 7 cats?
I never was a cat person. I hated them, and no, it's pretty much my girl. I met her and she had like 4 of them, and I was like, oh my god. And then sure enough, we saved one, and then like the oldest one got with the other girl, and they had one, and then my girl got with that baby, and oh god, it's just a growing family. But I'm done. I'm done. 7 is more than enough. I'm done.
Is your girl done though? That's the question.
Oh yeah, she's done. Her too. She like. There's a lot of times where she's stressed. She gets stressed out about it.
And the dog, was that hers or yours, or did you guys get that one
That was
together?
me. That was me. Yeah, I wanted the dog. That was me. I've always been a dog person. I've had 2 pit bulls in the past, and now I have a beagle. I got a beagle girl. She's super cute, super in love with me. I can't wait to go back. Just yeah, I'm nuts about the dog too. I haven't been. I always loved all my dogs, but this one, she just got something special on me.
She's your best friend out there. It would seem.
Yeah, most definitely.
So what kind of fights or what fight are you looking forward to most when this pandemic ends? As far as the boxing side is concerned, is there one fight that stands out to you?
Um, I mean, as far as boxing goes, I think the one that everyone wants to see is Terrence Crawford with Errol Spence. I think that's I think that's the biggest fight in boxing.
Okay. Do you think that that's a fight that they should do directly coming off this pandemic, or would you like to see each of them get a fight first? Especially Earl coming off the accident. Would you like to
Yeah,
see him get a fight first beforehand?
I think yeah, they should. I think they both should get a fight in, and then yeah, and then have at it.
Give me your prediction.
Um, I got Terrence in a war, a strategic war. I think they bang it out, and I think he decides to outbox Arrow. I think there's a little bit more that Terrence could do, but I could be wrong. I mean, Arrow, was a Olympic representative. He's got the pedigree in the amateurs as well. So I mean, it's an exciting fight, and I would love to see that fight.
Your cousin David chimes back in and says he's looking forward to Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko. Give me your thoughts on that fight. That that
Yeah,
that
that's a
that
good.
to me is the fight that I'm looking forward to the most when boxing comes back.
Um, I love that fight too. I think Teofimo's the real deal. Loma's obviously Loma. Um, I'm excited. I'm excited for that fight. I think that's I kind of say it's almost like a toss up. Just I think if anything would be the difference, I think it would be maybe Loma's experience. But other than that, that's another great fight that definitely look forward to in boxing.
And I definitely think we could see that fight soon because I'm not sure if you've heard, but in the news, Bob Arum said that he was getting in contact with Vince McMahon, the owner of the WWE, and wanted to
Uh-huh.
put on fights at the Performance Center that the WWE and Vince McMahon own down in Florida because they have been
Mhm.
basically approved as an essential business. And I believe Bob's trying to do the same things to be able to hold fights in Florida at the Performance Center. So we could definitely see that fight and a lot more top ranked fights a lot sooner than we may have expected.
Okay. Okay.
You know, so
Yeah,
that also could include Adrian Granados too.
I'm down with that.
How much longer do you plan on fighting, Christian asks? Is there a date, or are you
3
just
years.
playing it by?
I'm playing by how I feel. You know, I just hit 30 and it hit pretty hard. Um, what's it called? I always said I wanted to make it at 35.
35.
Yeah.
And then what? What are we doing after boxing?
There's multiple things that I'd like to do. You know, I'm looking to get into the stock market right now, as well as you know, like I said, real estate. But I think personally too, I want to get in. I used to be an electrician. I might get back into that. Um, Also thought about the fire department as well. I know Manny Lopez, he's doing that.
Yeah.
That's definitely a good job too. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things, but yeah, those are a couple of the segues I'm looking to get into.
I would definitely like to see you get into broadcasting, commentating. You got a great personality. You speak well. Look good on camera. You know, you kind of look like an old Ryan Garcia. With that hair.
Oh my god,
hair.
The old Ryan Garcia.
Well, I mean, the kid. The kid's barely 13 years old. but you know, yeah. So that's definitely something I would like to see you get into.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him though too. I know he's talking about he wanted to fight Tank. That's a good fight. That's a tough fight. That's a tough fight for him. But yeah, I mean, shout out for him. You know, wanting to make it happen.
I see Ryan winning that fight. I really do. I do see Ryan winning that fight.
Nice. I would like to see him win that fight. I mean that's a good fight. That's a good fight.
It is. I mean, I believe that Tank was exposed in a sense. His last fight against Gamboa, yeah, I definitely feel if Gamboa didn't get hurt as early as he did, that it would have been a much different fight and much more competitive, and he easily could have pulled out the victory. We haven't seen a Gamboa like that since he fought Crawford, so I definitely feel that that he would have put on a better showing, you know. But kudos to him even fighting through the injury. But I feel that he was exposed, and Ryan's much bigger, younger, taller, longer. I just feel his attributes are going to be too much for Tank. Tank's a one-trick pony to me, but so I definitely feel Ryan will pull that one off for sure.
I like that. I definitely too. I feel with the height and the reach, if he uses it right, definitely could be a good win for him.
Nate Rogers. Nate asks Fury and Joshua, who wins?
I'm gonna say Fury. I think he's just so tricky, and I think he just got so many tricks in the hat that I think he gives Joshua a boxing lesson.
I agree. I completely agree. Although I think Joshua obviously is going to be a lot more prepared than say a Wilder was. And I just think that would be good for heavyweight boxing in general. I'll definitely tune in. I believe they should definitely hold that one over in England. Fill 90, 100,000 people in a stadium, and let's just let's put all the belts on one person in the heavyweight division
Right.
for once.
Right.
Alvino Gonzalez, Adrian, big fan from West Texas. I feel you've been on the wrong end of some shitty decisions. Which one hit you the hardest? I believe we checked on that earlier, but let's go ahead and revisit that for a moment.
I mean, yeah, I could say that. The Broner fight, it definitely hit the heart. This last one though was actually pretty bad too. This last one, I mean, it was kind of a spit in the face. It was a close competitive fight that I feel like I not dominated, but definitely had the better of. And I mean, that was the one where for sure the scorecards 8-2, 7-3, and 10-0. Like I didn't win one. And then how do you go on concubines and I land 152 punches more? Like that just doesn't make sense. Like it seemed to me like they already had their winner chosen before that fight.
So let me ask you this. Speaking of that, because a lot of these decisions, especially the big ones, have shown up under the PBC banner, Showtime, and whatnot. Would you say that maybe it's time to get away from them and that a little bit? I mean, yes, they continue to keep you busy and whatnot and give you really big fights, but you're still being treated as that, I want to say, gatekeeper or stepping stone. Do you feel like it might be time to try to get with the Golden Boy, a Top Rank, or even go on your own for a little while and get some things together?
Yeah, I think that's the route that I'm gonna go. I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about PBC. I mean, they've given me a bunch of opportunities, more than I probably deserve, and I'm very appreciative of them and the opportunities they're giving me. But yeah, I do feel like it's just that I'm getting like I said in the last fight, I'm getting like if I'm the punching bag, I'm pretty much the gatekeeper, the guy who just is gonna help out their guy, and it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating because it's like, I know that I belong, with the best, but I know I belong to win some of these fights, and it's just, I feel like the what's it called? The relationships ran its course.
So what do those do to you, honestly? Do they give you more of a motivation, or have you gotten to a point, or are you getting to a point to where it's almost making you dislike the sport in a sense?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to that point where, yeah, I mean, the love's always going to be there, but as far as it's just frustrating. It's frustrating the treatment that I've gotten. And I mean, some of these fights, like it just seems like I can't win. And it's like, it really, I don't know even how to put it. It's just, it's taking its toll on me.
Okay. And Isaiah, you deserve it all, homeboy. What up? Zay's on the channel.
What up, Zayzo?
Little bro's on the channel.
Yeah.
And Nate asks, which boxer had you the most starstruck? Great question, Nate.
That is a great question. I think it was Oscar De La Hoya. I met Oscar De La Hoya when it was in Mexico City, and it was he was there for Marquez training camp. That's when Marquez was Golden Boy, and yeah, man, it was so packed in the gym, so packed, and pretty much he was all suited up. He was in the promoter outfit, so I mean, it was just somebody that it's like, I followed him too, after Chavez, I followed his whole career, and it was just, that was probably the most starstruck I was for as far as any fighter goes.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Great. Just as you said, literally as you were saying it, you almost said it like a movie. I actually pictured it. You said he's in the promoter suit. It's almost like he walked in with the aura around him, and you were just like, that's him. That's Oscar.
Exactly what it was. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, the Golden Boy.
Who's one that you haven't met that you want to meet?
Man, I've met Like the biggest ones that I have met is Mike Tyson, Julio Cesar Chavez, and Oscar De La Hoya. But man, who haven't I met yet? Fernando Vargas.
You're leaving out a name from the biggest ones that you've met.
Adrian Granados.
Floyd Mayweather.
I've seen him. I never really met him, man.
You didn't you have the Broner press conference with Floyd Mayweather?
Oh my god!
Wait.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, Floyd. He was mad cool. Yeah, I'm so stupid. Wow. I was over here showing him Snapchat, and we were taking selfies.
I remember that because he was sitting on your side of the thing. I watched that press conference last night. Actually, I was doing a little bit of study, watching back up on stuff. I was actually showing my girl, some of your stuff. Hence the music video that I sent you.
Okay.
With you in the music video. Yeah. So yeah, I would say Floyd, but you said Fernando Vargas. That would be the one, huh?
Yeah. He's I was a huge Vargas fan, and he was a badass. I was always a fan of him.
Favorite place to visit? Go.
Mexico City. You're trying to say Denver, right?
Technically, you don't visit there because you live there.
Mexico City, not no more. I lived there when I was at the Marquez camp. But yeah, no, like every time I go, it's awesome there.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was definitely trying to segue to Denver. That's home. Do you remember your first trip actually down to Denver when I went and picked you up? Do you recall what I did too? I did something intentional too, just because I knew you were from Chicago.
I can't remember. No.
Let me refresh your memory. So I picked you up from Colorado Springs. This was when you were in camp with Adrian Broner. Okay. We had talked, and I knew you were Chicago. You were a Chicago Bears fan. You did mention to me that you wanted to get, I believe it was your pops or somebody, a Peyton Manning shirt or a jersey or a Bronco shirt.
Yeah.
So you wanted me to take you to the store, and instead I took you to the Broncos stadium. I tried to convert you to a fan right away.
I do remember that.
We went to the stadium, went to the Broncos store.
The stadium was beautiful, though. The stadium was beautiful.
Yeah, it's definitely beautiful. It was just a beautiful day, man. Days like that in Denver just make it just shine that much more. Mm-hmm. And I've always tried to get you to come out, do camps, don't spend time, but it couldn't get you away from Chicago.
Nah, man, he's home.
Righty. Who do you want to see Canelo fight next? And outside of that, who do you think beats him?
Man, honestly, I don't know if anybody beats him right now. He just seems to really be on his cues, and pretty much he just seems unstoppable. I would like to see him with the Charlos. But I feel like, he'll be too strong for them.
Speaking of the Charlos, now that you bring that up, the last couple of days, there's been a lot of chatting going on, a lot of Twitter going on between Charlo and Terrence Crawford.
Oh,
Crawford has been considering a move up to 154 eventually. And Charlo had brought his name up the other day when it came to Earl Spence, and Terrence, jabbed back at him on Twitter. Charlo made a video. I think eventually that's going to have some traction. What would you think if Terrence was to go up to 54 and fight somebody like one of the Charlo brothers?
Man, that's a big step up, and that's a tough fight. I mean, that's I don't know, that's a different beast, and I would love to see it, but I think if anybody could do it, I think Terrence could do it.
Let's get back to some more comments here before we move on. Shirley, it's my mom. Hi, Mijo, you look great. You need to come to Denver so we can see you. I'm definitely sure I'll be pushing him for that one, Mama. I'll be sure to bring him back out to Denver.
I do want to get back out there too.
And Kimberly, sis, says hi.
Nice. It's a family affair.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of them got. I'm surprised my mom's on here. It's really odd to me.
For sure.
And David, Cuz is back on. I feel like your defense is at its best when you were working with Nacho. Any plans on getting back to the basics and working on defense along with the power workouts?
Yeah, definitely. That was actually another thing too. I was kind of gonna gear towards, in this latter stage of my boxing career. Like obviously I'm very too accepting on engaging in a war always, and I think, to maybe make my career last a little more, that would be a smarter thing to do.
Nate said, Chris, do you remember watching Spence Brook fight in my backyard? Nate, yes, I do. That was fun. No, it was really fun, man. That was a great fight. That was a great time. Once again, thanks for the hospitality, the food.
Yeah, of course.
Again, you ever come back out to Denver, man? Which I'm not in Denver right now, but I'll be back home soon. I'll definitely get you back on that. I do remember that. So that was awesome. That was actually fun. That was actually fun. That was a great day. Definitely a great day.
Yeah.
Isaiah, okay, let's get into something crazy. Isaiah, remember when that guy threw soda on us at the highway? On the highway.
Yes, I do remember that. Wow, that was crazy. That was crazy.
So to give you guys some back on that, Adrian, myself, and my brother, we were riding down the highway in Denver. I'm not exactly sure how this ended up even getting started. I believe somebody might have cut me off, I believe I might have cut somebody off, unintentionally or what have you. So the gentleman, he had rolled beside us, and he was just kind of jawing and talking shit. At that time, I was at a very, very short fuse, and something like that really set me off. I had Adrian, I had my brother with me, so I was just like, okay, to be quite honest, thinking back on it. So I remember we had got off the highway. I pulled up next to the guy as we were driving down the street, and I rolled my window down. And he had like a full McDonald's cup of like Coke or Pepsi. And he just chucked it through the window and wet us all.
Yeah.
That's when the fuse went out. And
he killed us with that.
So we literally, I was driving a Ford Escort. The thing topped out at 80 miles an hour. It was like a battery car. But I chased that dude, and I chased him, and we finally cornered him in some lot, but he had it planned. He pulled into some like business lot, and he pulled into a garage. And when he pulled into the garage, I believe it was a friend of his, because I remember specifically, I told you and Isaiah, stay in the fucking car. Like, he's mine. I jumped out the car, and I was trying to get him to come out. I didn't want to go in that business because that guy's friend came out, and he had like a wrench in his hand. And he was like, you guys just leave, yada, yada, yada. And at that point, I was fired up. I was hot. It was not happening. So nothing ended up, the guy didn't end up coming out. His friend pushed him like back further into the garage, and they shut the garage, and that was that. Mm-hmm. And, I just kind of, me personally, I had to just take that L.
We all did. Don't worry. We took it with you, man. We took it with you.
That's a great memory. I'm glad Isaiah brought that up. Alvino asks, who do you want to see Demetrius Andrade fight? The guy, he's the boogeyman to me. Nobody wants to fight that guy.
Nobody does. I think, he gives a lot of people problems. He's a good boxer. It just seems he's difficult to fight.
I would definitely love to see him again there in there against a Canelo. I believe the only time Canelo has had trouble when he was against more superb boxers.
Yeah.
Such as I believe it was it
Lara,
Austin Trout for a while, and obviously Floyd Mayweather.
For sure.
Obviously Floyd Mayweather. So yeah. Oh, Christian Steele says, gatekeeper, I know the feeling all too well. Just like you said, Christian's fought a lot of guys. Christian has fought everybody.
Yeah.
Has fought everybody. That's why when he fought you, I was just like, man, stop. Like, no. Just don't take it because it's Adrian, but just no, man. Like, get some better fights, But I mean, he's definitely one guy that he knew his position, and I always appreciated that about him. He knew his position and he accepted it. You know, he got what he needed and got what he wanted to better his life, and he got out. You know, he's doing great, man. He's got his own gym opened up in Georgia. He's a head trainer. You see, I believe he's got a lot of really good amateurs and stuff like that. So, yeah, Christian, it would definitely be good to see you again, man. Come out to Chicago, come out to Denver, because I'm gonna drag Adrian back out to Denver, and we're gonna make it happen. You got to take a trip with mom and dad out here, man.
Yeah.
Bring the parents back out here.
I would actually, I'd like to take a drive out there.
Come back with Chepe. I know he's out there right now.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
There you go. See,
There we go.
I believe that pandemic, the stay-at-home order in Denver, they're still gonna uplift it. I mean, as far as today, when the governor spoke on the 30th of April.
Okay.
Out here in Texas, we got extended until the end of May, so we're stuck. I hate it. I don't like it. It sucks.
Everybody's hating it right now. I mean, you could kill yourself with boredom.
Which of the top middleweights do you think he beats? And I believe that's Alvino referring back to Demetrius Andrade. Who does he beat? And nobody wants to fight him, but who does he beat?
I don't know. I'd like to see him with Triple G. I think he beats Triple G.
No Canelo, nobody else.
I mean, it's possible. I just, I want to see him with it.
Stylistically, I feel he's the worst matchup for any of them, obviously, which is why they don't fight him. You know, he's almost like a Floyd Mayweather to me. So, like in that sense, I'm definitely, by no means comparing him to Floyd, but in that division right now, he's that kind of guy that is just gonna box your head off and leave you looking stupid, just as Floyd used to do to everybody. Would that have been a fight you would have loved to get? You'd love the opportunity to get. How would you think you would have fared in the fight against Floyd?
What is it? That was my thing when I actually came up. That's why I kind of rushed myself. I did want to get my shot at Floyd. I think, definitely, probably, I would have given him problems. I would have definitely made him fight. And I think I would have fared, anybody, could say it, but I really do think I would have fared well against him.
What about a fight with Conor McGregor if he comes back to boxing? Would that be something you would accept?
I would love it. I would love it. That's cake. That's easy pickings.
There's definitely been talks of him coming back and fighting Manny Pacquiao. There's been rumblings of that potentially happening. I believe that got put off just because of everything that's going on right now. But what would you think if he was to come back and fight Manny Pacquiao? How would that go?
I think Manny would dust him.
You think so? I've got to be honest. I don't see him dusting him as you said. I see that. I see again McGregor's attributes, mixed with Manny's age and wear and tear, giving him some problems. I'm by no means am I picking McGregor to win, but I definitely feel that something like that would give him some problems.
I could see that. I could see him giving him problems, and he's a big guy, physical guy. I don't think he'd be able to catch Manny. I think Manny, his footwork, even though with the wear and tear and everything, that footwork is just he's like a little bumblebee just jumping around, hopping around.
Christian said Boo Boo beats all of them. I can't disagree. I really can't.
We got to see it, man.
Yeah, but in today's age, the way boxing is going, we won't.
Right.
That's why we need you to work on your wrestling. Let's get you in a cage. Get you a couple fights over there. Come out here, train. I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
That wouldn't elevation.
Why haven't you taken advantage of potentially, holding a camp out here, or I'm sorry, out in Denver, to take advantage of the elevation and what it would have to offer? Is it just a Chicago thing, or what is it?
Really, I didn't, I mean, I know it would help me and stuff like that scientifically and everything, but I never had the difference really. Like even when when I fought out there, like I was in great shape, and I mean I didn't feel the elevation. I still threw a bunch of punches, and I mean I don't know. I mean it's something that I've wanted to do. Where I wanted to go was to Mexico City before the Danny Garcia fight. My plan, I would love to go back with Nacho. Actually, when my cousin was mentioning that, I would love to train with Nacho. It definitely was the best defense, because he focused in on that. And I mean, Nacho too. He's an awesome person, a funny old man, dude. Funny, and yeah, man. I miss that life.
Yeah, so that's something that you would look forward to in the future is potentially going back out to Mexico City to hold a camp or at least go train with him.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you still keep in contact with him at all?
I give him a call now and then. And it's crazy. It's like it's still the same old number. And he's still the same old dude. So yeah, no, he's he's always been cool.
Awesome. You got Christian still chiming in. Connor gets beat by any C+ fighter. I don't agree. I don't agree with you there. I don't. And I'm not a Conor McGregor fan, at least anymore. But I can't agree. I just still believe that the dude he's uberly talented, man. Especially his striking. I mean, he didn't look terrible against Floyd Mayweather, and he fought the best boxer we potentially have ever seen in his first pro bout. I mean, granted, it was a money grab. We get it. We know. Matter of fact, hey, you were on that card, right?
No,
no. I'm sorry, the Mayweather Pacquiao. Pacquiao. My mistake.
Mayweather Pacquiao. Yeah.
Yes. Again, another screw job.
It's all good. Well, yeah, it was another screw job on the judges.
yeah, and that's what I mean. I actually spoke to Brad Goodman after that, and I believe the last time I had seen him in Newark, we had brought you up and talked about it, and he was just like, "Hey, man," he goes, "I completely agree with you." He goes, "I thought that was bullshit." He's like, "Adrian easily won the fight." He said it easily could have been stopped.
Yeah. I had him out on his feet in the last round. I think it was even Oscar De La Hoya was tweeting about it that they robbed me, and it was crazy. I mean, it was like there was 15 people there. I was the first fight of the night.
What you playing on the PlayStation over there? What's keeping you busy?
I was playing on the 360 Grand Theft Auto 5.
They still have those?
Yeah, they still do. I'm sorry, man. But no, I really got into this Uncharted 4. I guess it's on PS4 right now, but it's the game's pretty interesting.
Are you going to upgrade to an Xbox One at some point so I can go ahead and give you some work on the sticks?
Maybe.
maybe. Huh? I mean, it's okay. I actually have video of the last time we played.
Yeah.
If you want me to put that out, it was you and Hank. Took a couple L's that night.
Yeah. Whatever.
Honestly, thinking back to that, I think probably one of the funniest times or the funnest times when I was out there with you in Chicago was when we took Hank to that Pilsen, or you took us basically, that Pilsen Little Village.
And we were dancing.
I have the video. We're dancing some Mexican music. We're just eight, and we turn the camera to Hank, and he's just like,
yeah, he's just looking like a crazy man. Like he's looking at us like we're nuts.
He was probably thinking, "Man, I should just kept my ass at the hotel."
Right.
What am I doing out with these fools? Yes, Alvino, that was the Brad Solomon fight that we were referring to.
Right.
Sean Mondragon, you don't want the work in Madden. Listen. Hey, speaking of that, so the other 2 days ago, I got online to do an online game.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, I ended up with a professional athlete who I was playing. It was I'm so mad because he quit. It was Paul George.
Paul George?
Paul George for the Placement Clippers. Paul George. Yes.
Wow, you played him?
Yes. We got matched up on Madden.
Everybody over here.
He didn't want no smoke, man. He didn't want no problems.
Jeez.
He's got to get back to the gym because this Madden he don't want those problems.
Yeah, I got you.
Is mom and pop's home yet, or is it just you?
No, yeah, they're home.
Well, be sure to let them know I said hello.
I gotta get a charger on because I'm like I've been past 10% already.
You're gonna die out. Christian asks, you think you'll be involved in boxing in some kind of way after retiring?
Definitely do see that. I see that being. I plan on being like I would like to be a trainer when I'm all done. Definitely got mom right here.
Let me say hi to mom. Hi, mom.
Hey, how are you?
How are you? Good. How are you?
Look at you, Mr. Little Reporter.
I wouldn't call myself a reporter per se. You know, are you in the kitchen? What you making?
Nothing today. We had what do we have? Polish sausage. With,
we had Polish sausage yesterday.
I've already made gumbo while he was here. I made
fire.
What else do we have? We had a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
every day I make stir fry, tamales, pozole,
carne asada.
Yeah, do you know he's getting fat here?
Yeah, I know. I told him that. We talked about it, and I told him that we're gonna go on a diet together from afar.
Yeah, there you go. That's motivator.
Yeah, I mean, my girl's doing the same thing to me. She's just fattening me up. Got me stuck in this house, just fattening me up.
Well, you still look good. Don't worry about it. You still look a little kid.
Thank you, Mama. I appreciate it. I'm not a little kid though. I'm an old man now.
Okay.
All right, Mama. Talk to you later. Love you.
Say hi, old man.
Mom, man, great woman.
On the couch back there.
Say that again.
Yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad.
That's you breaking up. Are you there?
Yeah, because can you hear me? You there?
Adrian, can you hear me now? Better.
You're breaking up pretty bad. Hang on. You know what? That actually might be because of my phone. Yeah. Give me a second.
You got it. Just hey everybody, we're on the line still with Adrian Granados. He's actually live joining us from Chicago right now. He's trying to fix his connection.
Okay.
His clicker. There it is.
Yeah, that was my phone.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. We know that was your Cricket or Metro PCS, whatever it is you got.
Oh yeah, whatever. Verizon, baby boy.
With the Verizon. iPhone. Yeah, iPhone. So you are an iPhone guy.
Yes, I am. Big time.
Big time. So would you ever switch over to Android?
I mean, I tried, but I guess I maybe I didn't get the right one. I had it's called a Huawei.
A who?
Huawei. Huawei. Huawei.
It's something like that. Hey man, right. While we got a little bit of a break, why don't you just tell everybody who's been on and for the people who don't know you, where they can follow you on your social media, where they can keep up with you.
Yeah, I on Instagram and Twitter, I am El Tigre AG, and also Snapchat. I'll do Tiger Style 17, and on Facebook, Adrian El Tigre Granados. Please hit the like button.
Okay, hey, you've done this before, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little something. See, you're not as down to earth as you may seem. You've been around the block twice.
A little bit.
Let's just get into a couple different topics, Adrian, before I let you go. I don't want to keep you too long. Looks like the first sporting event we're gonna get back is gonna be the UFC, which is actually headlined by Tony Ferguson. I'm not sure if you're aware of who Tony Ferguson is. And Justin Gaethje, he's actually a friend of mine as well from out in Denver. Wild fighter. I'm not sure if you've ever seen him fight, but if you haven't, let me know. I will send you some fights to watch. He's you in a cage. Nice. All out, all action, pressing forward, kill or be killed. I'm gonna knock you out. You're gonna knock me out. And literally every one of his fights has been either ended in him being stopped or them being stopped. But this fight's actually for the interim world title at 155 because Khabib, at this point, is going to be in Ramadan, so he's not going to be able to take any fights. So that looks like that's going to be the first event back. pretty sure the world's going to be tuning in because we're not going to have anything else. Is that something you're going to watch? Are you going to try to tune in?
Definitely. You know, that sounds like a good fight already. And yeah. I mean, if everyone else gonna be tuned in, I'm gonna be tuned in too.
Yeah, awesome. And some other news: Denver Broncos linebacker and Super Bowl 50 MVP Von Miller tested positive for coronavirus today.
Oh wow,
That sucks.
It does. Yeah, it does.
That sucks. I mean, Von Miller, like that's the cornerstone of our franchise. He tested positive today.
Sorry, buddy.
Okay, Chicago Bears. What do you think your Bears are going to do if this next season? Obviously, if we have a season, how are they looking to you?
I mean, we'll see. I guess in Mitch we trust, though.
Do you think you guys will end up going after Cam Newton potentially?
I wish we would have, but no, they already missed out. They didn't miss out, but I mean, who did we get? Foles?
Oh, that's right. You guys did get Nick Foles, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So you going with Foles or Mitch? Who's going to be your starter?
I'm not sure. I mean, that's up to the coaching staff. You know, I guess, like I said, they did it just to give Mitch some competition. I don't know. Like I would have been happy with Cam. You know, and then who else? Weren't they talking like Teddy Bridgewater or no?
No, I don't believe they were talking Bridgewater. I know he signed a contract pretty quick in where was it that he ended up? And where did Teddy end up? I can't think offhand. It'll come to me. I'm not too sure where Teddy ended up. As a matter of fact, let me check to see where he did end up. Obviously Carolina.
There we go.
Carolina with Christian McCaffrey, the highest paid running back ever in the NFL.
Nice.
Where's he from? Do you know?
I do not know.
He's from Denver. Just saying.
Oh, okay.
You know, just saying.
You would know.
He's from Denver. Of course I would. Of course I would. You know, why wouldn't I? Have you watched any of the NBA horse challenge that they've been doing on ESPN?
Oh God, no, I haven't.
Listen. As crazy as it is, that's still kind of cool.
I mean, it's kind of cool. I had no idea they were even doing that.
Yeah, so the way they're doing it is they have a bracket style. They're playing horse. They put two guys basically on like a Skype or a FaceTime in each of like either in their gym or like at their house or their outside court or what have you. And there's a mediator or I'm sorry, a commentator in the middle of it from ESPN going in between the two. So, and it's just like a regular game of horse. They're just watching to see what they're doing through the screen, you know? And they had the first round of them were this past week. I believe it was Mike Connolly went against Tamika Catchings from the WNBA. Mike Connolly plays for Utah Jazz. Connolly won it, obviously, as you would predict.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce went against Zach LaVine, a Chicago Bull.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, and Paul showed his age for sure. Zach showed why he's one of the most athletic and highest rising, stars in the NBA. Yep, Zach took that. The two quote unquote upsets. One of them was definitely an upset. The other one I don't feel was an upset. We'll start with Chauncey Billups. You know where he's from? Just gonna throw that out there.
From Denver too?
Oh, you know it.
Oh, of course.
Of course. Chauncey Billups went up against Trae Young.
Okay.
Wasn't close. Chauncey ate him alive.
I was gonna say, what?
Chauncey ate him alive.
Oh my God. Wow.
Listen.
Wow.
Watching Chauncey still shoot, like he literally looks like he could still play in the league. His shot is so pure. Oh yeah, and mind you, Chauncey has a beautiful court outside his house. I've actually played on it before. It's one of the not the clay courts, but the plastic ones put together. But he's out on a dope court. Mike Connolly's court was inside, so he had a whole indoor court to use at his house. So, but Trae Young was at his house in Oklahoma. It was a nice house, really nice house. He had one of the like basketball hoops that were set up in the what am I trying to say? In the like in the parking lot, in front of the house,
Okay.
just like how we would have it set up in the driveway. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Driveway. I swear to God, it was set up to like 8 feet tall, 9 foot. It definitely wasn't a 10-foot rim at all.
Okay.
And like I said, he just got worked out. Chauncey was not playing, but the upset came with Chris Paul. Who one of the best point guards we've ever seen in the league, went up against what is the lady's name offhand? Give me 1 second. Allie Quigley from the WNBA.
Wow.
And Allie Quigley beat him.
Lost to a girl.
pretty handily.
Wow.
It was crazy to watch. Allie Quigley was the same thing. She had some hoops set up in her driveway. Chris Paul had a beautiful outside, outdoor court in LA. But she beat him, man. She smooth stroke, very smooth stroke.
Nice.
Chris really couldn't. They just couldn't really do nothing. It was crazy. So they have the semifinal set. Chauncey's going against, who did I say? From the Utah Jazz, the point guard, Mike Conley. And then Zach LaVine's going against Allie Quigley.
Okay. Nice.
So that's supposed to happen this week. I definitely can't wait to see who wins. To see who's going to go in the finals. My prediction. I'm gonna ride with the hometown boy. I'm gonna ride with Chauncey. Against Zach LaVine in the finals.
That sounds right. Right. I like that guess.
And the crazy thing is too that they help. There's no dunking.
No dunking. Okay.
Obviously, Zach LaVine ain't.
I just tuned into it right now.
Put it on.
It's
nice.
on right
Yeah.
now.
It's cool, man. Like it just reminds me of stuff that we would do like back home, and it's just cool to see those guys out doing it.
Showing Zach LaVine.
Okay. So you already missed Chauncey beating the young prodigy right now, Trey Young, which is obviously the one that I liked. We got a comment from special somebody, huh? Let's go ahead. Are you ready for the fight?
Nice.
Woo! You ready for that fight?
Nice. No, I'm not ready. She's about to work my ass.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. And Christian asked, "What's the best advice you would give to up and coming fighters?"
Get a good lawyer. Take care of your health, and don't cut corners.
Don't cut corners. I mean, honestly, that's probably the best advice, just in life that most people could get. Don't cut corners.
Definitely.
I can't say we've all not, because I for sure have. I definitely try to take advantage of the opportunities that I get for sure. And take it a step further. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody should do that. But you, at the same time, you also definitely got to make sure that you're working your ass off, busting your ass. You're working hard. Not more or less for everybody else in your life, but for yourself.
Right.
And those are conversations that you and I have had. Like, you ever get down, man? Like, it's not about anybody else at the end of the day. You know what I mean? A lot of people use that as motivation. And I for the longest time, bro, honestly, use that as motivation, and as well as my excuse for cutting corners, for not doing what I should have, for not growing up as fast as I should have, and whatnot. I use that excuse, and in hindsight, looking back on it, I definitely regret it in a sense, but also don't, because it made me who I am today. But if I could go back and change it, yeah, I definitely would. I would definitely go back and bust my ass for me and not for anybody else.
Yeah.
I definitely don't feel that that's the right thing to do. And a lot of people could look forward to that in future fighters. People who just need a kick in the ass in life. Don't cut corners, man. Just do it for yourself. Don't do it for nobody else, because if you ain't happy, nobody else around you can be happy. Nobody's gonna be happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we've all can attest that. I'm sure you can. And I'm sure everybody can, and so for all the up and coming fighters out there, and another piece of advice that I would personally give them is, don't be afraid to make changes. loyalty is always a huge thing, and it's a big thing to me. I mean, I got it tattooed on my arm for a reason,
Mhm.
but at the same time, this is as a fighter, it's not just a job. Like it's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. You don't just do it and then go home and then just shut it off. It's always on. And if you don't feel that you're getting, your just due, you don't have to sit with the same people. You don't have to sit with the same coach, the same manager, the same whatever. If you guys can't get on the same page as far as to what you want, because at the end of the day, they work for you. Don't be afraid to make that change. Don't be afraid to change for the better. That's how we all grow in life. That's how you're going to grow in the sport. If you feel you're stagnant at one spot, don't be afraid to make the change. Make changes, and don't let anybody make the changes for you. You make that change and you make that choice for yourself. So Christian, definitely let you know, let a lot of your up and coming fighters know, and you would probably know more than most, just based on your career, and Adrian, you as well, because I'm sure you've been trying to drag you. People try to drag you every which way. After the Imam fight, I'm sure you had everybody knocking down your door.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody wanted a piece of you, and looking at you, I don't understand why, because I wouldn't really nobody really want a piece of you. Period. You know, yeah, that's funny. It's funny us talking to each other like that. That's how we knew he was gonna be cool. I remember you telling me that. You're like, I can talk to this fool like that. We're gonna be cool, and that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. No, we definitely hit it off when we did.
And that was all because of Hector, man. Shout out to Hector Munoz.
Shout out to Hector Munoz, El Huracan.
Yo, that dude is like the sparring partner guru, the sparring partner king.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's been everybody's sparring partner you could think of.
Yeah, everybody's.
That again, that's how I met him. He was a sparring partner for Mike a couple times, and we became cool. And that's obviously how I drove up to the Springs, and then he was there. Y'all was in the same room. That's how I met you. So shout out to Hector. What's up, sir?
Yeah.
You still keep in contact with Hector at all? Talk to him.
It's been a while now. It's been a while.
Yeah.
We used to keep in contact a lot more, but it's been a minute. I haven't talked to him in a minute.
All right. Last thing. Again, last couple questions. Fantasy fight. Who is it? For you. Who would you choose?
For me,
Yeah.
man, there's a bunch out there. I don't know why two names that come up right now is Josecito Lopez and Keith Thurman.
Why?
I just think they're good fights. I think styles make fights, and I think our styles mesh well on both sides.
I like the Lopez fight. There was actually a fight. It was for a vacant WBC. I'm not sorry, not WBC. I believe it IBF. I want to say maybe 140-pound title that we were texting. It was two guys that I told you that's the dude I wanted you to fight next. That I would have loved to seen you fight next. Do you remember offhand which fight I'm talking about?
Shoot, the guy who I would love to fight is Mario Barrios.
Barrios, there he is. Yes.
Yeah. He got a gift that night. I mean, it was a good. He fought, well until the end. Like man, he could have gotten stopped.
I agree. I completely agree. I do remember actually tweeting it after that. Like, hey, that's the fight for you. Like, that's the fight you need. That's the fight you should get.
That was the fight I would have headed towards had I gotten the win with Robert Easter.
Yeah. And got check these last two questions and comments that came in. How do you feel about marijuana, and what are the rules in boxing against it? And do you think it's a better drug for the perception of healing? With the MLB recently taking marijuana off the ban list, and the NFL saying they will give less penalties for the use of it.
I think it's good. I mean, I've always heard good things. I mean, I think it would be helpful, for the concussions, the head trauma that we deal with. I feel, I mean, I know that CBD stuff is like supposed to work miracles, so I mean, any advancements, as far as medicine, goes, that would be beneficial for fighters and any athletes. I think I'm all for it.
You do you use CBD at all?
I've never used it, but I should.
I would definitely recommend it. A lot of MMA friends that I have, and even Terrence Crawford, who I talked to, who a little bit about it. He's actually sponsored by a CBD company now. It's just like you said, it works miracles and wonders for fighters. Just as you said, dealing with everything. There's no THC. It's not a banned substance. At all. So I would definitely look into it, man. I got a few people or at least a few contacts I'll shoot your way so you can at least get some information about it, man. I definitely feel that it'll be beneficial, especially for you. Might help you with, like you said, with whatever else it may be. Might help you with your ugliness. Might clear some of that up too. We'll see. We'll see.
You better stop.
Man,
I'm
sorry?
I'm gonna put you on.
Oh, did we lose Adrian?
No, I'm still here. I was just gonna say you try to save yourself. I was about to put you on blast for your secret gay love for me.
Oh man, it's only on the weekend. Today's Thursday, so you don't get that above me. Sorry.
Oh,
Well, shit, man. Well, I definitely appreciate the time today, brother. It was great. I didn't really want to gear towards boxing too much, but you had a lot of people on here with a lot of different questions, about it, and it's just really good, to even get some of it, out of you, because normally when we talk, we don't really talk about boxing too much. When we chat, it's just what up, checking in, blah 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 blah, whatever. So it was actually at the same time really good, like I said, to get some of that out of you, to kind of see where you're, how you feel, and where you're at with the sport. Like I said, knowing what's transpired, in the past, and kind of where your head's at now. We'll definitely have some talks offline for sure about it. But yeah, thanks for the time again, man. And again, tell everybody where they could follow you on your social media.
For sure. Twitter and Instagram, El Tigre AG. Facebook, Adrian El Tigre Granados. Hit the like, please. And yeah, man, thanks for having me, bro. This was definitely good. I like the setup. I like the way you got it going, Mr. Professional now.
As Mama said.
Yeah, definitely love it, man. I'm definitely gonna be plugging you out there, shooting you out there, and thanks for always being a good friend, bro.
Oh man, always, man, and that's never nothing I need to be thanked for, brother. I'm here for you regardless what happened. Boxing, no boxing, gay, not gay, whatever it may be.
I'll still accept you. It's okay, man.
So I'm gonna hit everybody again with this outro video, but the reason I even bring the outro video up is because I'm not sure if you've seen it. I don't know if you checked into the first episode that I had with Bomac. Okay, so I'm gonna want you to hang on to the line. Okay. I'll go ahead and end the broadcast after this is over. Check it out. There's a quick little surprise in there for you.
Nice.
Before I head off, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back this weekend. I will announce the guest that we will have here shortly, probably tomorrow, and that'll more than likely be on Sunday. So again, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the Instagram, Shoot with Chris. Let's get these likes, these views up, and let's just have more fun. Continue to throw the comments in, to continue to bring them on. If you want to be a guest sometime, let me know. You got a good topic we can discuss. Let's do it. It's not just about sports; it's about everything. And as you know, shoot or shoot. Check this out, brother. Thank you, everybody.
Somebody told me sleep is the cousin of death. I gotta wake up. So I open my eyes with a dream in the book. I gotta chase him. Somebody told me sleep is the cousin of death. I gotta wake up. So I open my eyes with a dream in the book. I gotta chase him. Struggle makes 100 miles and running feel more like a million. More pressure, I ain't never backing down and letting up. Fuck you then.
Nice.